It is a nice day, though. It's turning out nice. It started out shitty. It started out quite shitty today. Now the sun's coming out. I used to live across the street from this lake. Literally, like, right behind where I'm sitting. I used to come over here every day with my kids. Fucking stupid thing. Okay. Okay. Come on, you fucker. There we go. I'm using my telekinetic powers to hold it up. Balancing it. It's gonna fall. I knew it. There we go. Telekinesis doesn't work too well. What a beautiful sight, though. I remember being here, I don't know, 8 years, 10 years ago. I wasn't right at this spot. I was over near these houses off the shore. I was at one of the houses, actually. And watching the sunset. And that's when I met my friend Manny. Manuel Rockstar Fans. That dude will always be alive. For me. You know what I mean? He'll always be a part of this place. Hello. It's getting chilly. I need some heat. It's gonna get loud. Hello, Jada Mills. Jada Mills. I haven't been live on here in a long time. I go live on a platform called Pilled or Foxhold or something like that. Cornhold. I don't know. It's called Pilled. It's a reference to the Matrix red pill, blue pill thing. I would have never went there if DLive didn't announce the closing of their platform. I just like being able to do stuff that I like, you know. Not being controlled. Not being told what words I can say or not say, or what I can do and what I can't do. It kind of gets old, you know? Plus, I know where I'm welcomed. KJ, what up? What up? Just chilling, man. Having one of those moments. Peaceful moments. I was just sitting here thinking to myself about the world itself, right? And where is this? This is called 5 Mile Pond. It's when I started my YouTube channel, this is where I lived. I lived right here. Used to bring my sons here. I had an aluminum boat that I put 10-speed tires on, so I didn't have to put it on a trailer or anything. I just drag it across the street, plop it in the water, and me and my kids were off fishing for the day. Little trolling motor. You can't use nothing bigger than a trolling motor in there, but it's not too big. I don't think it's 5 miles even. I doubt 5 Mile Pond is 1 mile. This pond, included with Lake Lorraine, might be 5 miles. But this one alone, nope. They put up a railroad track straight in front of you. Oops, shit, what'd I do? Oops, not good. We turned the camera off, that's not good. There, they put a railroad track in, and that used to just, the water would continue to the other side. But when they put the railroad track in, they named that side Lake Lorraine, and this one kept the 5 Mile Pond moniker. There's another side over the tracks, yeah. Used to be some really cool parties that went on right at the Knights of Columbus on the other side, Lake Lorraine. That would be called Lake Lorraine. Oh, on Parker, that thing is, fuck. It's a historic pond, actually. There's like all kinds of like cool history about that pond. I forget. Is that Mill Pond? I'm not sure. I used to go up to Speck Pond. Yeah, it's not the best name. They could have done better on the name. That one's up in Wilbraham. We got some kids over here fishing. They stock this, actually. They stock it with trout, and a few salmon are in there, landlocked salmon. And they get fucking huge. I caught one salmon out of here, and I thought I had the monster trout. I pulled that thing in, and I was like, it's a fucking mutant. It's a trout eater. And this little Asian dude came up to me and said, I give you $50 for this. I'm like, I don't know, man. He's like, it's salmon. It's good. I eat it. And that is a true story. The dude bought the damn fish for $50. Landlocked salmon. I wonder how much that would be worth if you bought salmon from the store. Thing is, that shit's filled with parasites. That shit is disgusting. And it's not because it's in the pond. It's because it was fucking farmed at a nursery, and those nurseries are parasite fucking born. They're just horrible parasite farms. Those fish are disgusting. When they come into their natural place, if they stay in here for a while, they start to regulate to the water, and some of the parasites, I don't know if they go away, or probably not. Probably not. There's some cool bass in here. The wild fish in here are pickerel and large and smallmouth bass. There's some catfish in here. There's some eel in here, some really fucking funky eel. The spot over there near the train tracks goes down like 100 and something feet. It's pretty fucking deep over there. Well, it used to. Right now, it's down like... I just seen a fish jump. Or was that somebody casting? No, that was a fish jumping. It's down like 12 feet off of the bank. It used to sit up here on these rocks over here to fish. And now there's a coastline, and then there never was that. This thing is so empty. It's so droughted out. That's a good example of where does all the water come from, right? In certain places, like waterfalls and shit, seem to have never-ending amounts of water. This place doesn't have never-ending amounts. It will fucking dry out. They don't charge to go there. Here they don't. They used to have a little place over there that was like a beach that they used to charge to go there, but they don't anymore. They stopped paying for upkeep and all kinds of stuff. Like that place over there is it's actually in better condition now that the city stays out of it. When the city was in there, that shit was all diapers and disgusting, and it's not so bad right now. I've walked over there. It's not too bad. But I was sitting here not talking, but thinking to myself about this stupid space shit that they just played on us. That's another scam for money. And whoa. I don't think anybody's ever been to outer space. I was just sitting here thinking, I don't think anybody's ever been out of this fucking bubble that we're in. I doubt it. I think it's a lie. I think they're as puzzled to fucking everything as we are. They're like, what the fuck is this video game? You're in the Grand Theft Auto 12 from the Sony PlayStation 45 from the year 2020. Oh wait, there's a fucking train going off. 2520. Ooh, it's not raining. The fucking train went by already? Holy shit, that was quick. My Zoom sucks. Someone said they want us to believe they went to the moon before they had color TV. That's true. You know what? I'm gonna tell you 100% why there was no way we went to the moon. Fuel and speed. Fuel alone, you wouldn't be able to get there in just this little wiener-shaped object that we supposedly shoot up into the atmosphere at. So you have to think about this. This is the funniest part. They say that this rocket ship that moves in slow motion when you see it taking off, takes off at like a snail's pace, right? It looks like it starts moving because it's got those boosters behind it. But think about the weight management that they're fucking blasting off. It's a lot of weight. It's not a bullet that they're blasting off. It's a large piece of metal in mass. Well, to get that to 25 to 30,000 miles an hour, which is like 10 to 15 times faster. Wait, no. Wait, no. I think it's way faster than a bullet. Bullets move at a snail's pace compared to what they say a spaceship needs to do to exit our atmosphere. So, you ever seen one of those sleds that moves at like 1,000 miles an hour? It moves so fast, it's like the Roadrunner. You don't see it. You don't see nothing. You see the bullet trains go by at 300 miles an hour. They're there and then they're gone. Boom, 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 gone. That's about how fast I think those rockets go. Maybe 300 to maybe 1,000 miles an hour. I doubt they go any faster than that. All that mass going straight up like that, nah. They might as well fucking just you'd have to light off a nuke. And what would survive? What would survive the speed of re-entry, which would be the same thing, 25,000 miles an hour to 300? Because once you hit the air, once you slow down, you're going to the, what is it called? Terminal velocity. There's a terminal velocity of falling. You're going as fast as a meteorite. I don't think a human being's going to survive that in a little aluminum capsule with windows on it. And then fuel. Let's say fuel alone, right? Just the fuel to get there, to outer space, would be so exponential. Then you would need multiple stages of rocket, if it were as far away as they said. But then they speak about it. I mean, you can start going on AI and asking for measurements of fuel, on how much fuel is needed to escape the atmosphere, how much it's needed to come in, and then you start throwing curveballs at the AI, and it's like it gets stuck, because it's like, yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah, you're kind of right. This is kind of silly information, and it's what they want you to believe, is that they've escaped God's creation. That's what this is. And there's tons of evil. I'm sure of it. Now maybe I just got senile in my old age. But when you start meeting demons and shit, things start changing. Wonder how you would feel if you met an angel. You'd probably be just as afraid, right? It would be just as shocking and jarring to the human being experiencing it. They got us so fucked up, you don't know what to believe, man. I know I don't believe in no motherfucking globe. Everybody calls it flat earth, globe earth. I have my own theory. It's kind of flat earth-ishy, and it's bubble earth. And we're in a bubble. We're just in a little bubble. Bloop. And there's other bubbles, I think. But I don't think we could leave this bubble. I don't think we could actually exist outside of the bubble. Just like, we'll say, Pac-Man. Pac-Man leaves the screen, he's just gone. He don't exist outside of the screen. He shows up on the other side. I kind of think we're like that. We can't exist outside of our bubble. That's why you can't go to certain places. Why can't we explore like the explorers of old, right? We've got technology beyond technologies. And you're telling me every country in the entire world says, yeah, let's just skip all the resources in Antarctica. Let's skip all the oil that's possible. In fact, let's skip the military, possibilities, like what holding Antarctica can be for a certain country, right? We're supposed to believe all countries have said, nah, we just ain't gonna go there for just hee-haw, whatever. We just decide not to go there. It makes more sense that what Admiral Byrd said was correct. And when he went there, he was met by another race of people who said, yo, y'all are fucking shit up. And please don't come back here. That's what makes sense. Is that there's somebody there that can defend their property, so to speak. Then you go into the prison pen theory, which is the same as like Australia. Australia was a prison continent. A lot of countries would send the dregs of their society to Australia. It became actually a country, and people flourished there, and it was a beautiful place, right? But it was a place that was originally meant to be a prison, or just to keep the people out of where other people had interests. What if this entire map that you call the Earth is the prison area, and there's outside areas, but you're in the jail part? It's possible. I like to just sit here and fucking think about shit like this. And that's why I like to live stream on Pilled, because I can go there and I can say whatever I want. I don't have to say words like unalived or pew pew. I feel like such a douchebag saying different words that are not what I fucking mean. I don't know. I see a lure sitting in that tree in front of us. It's hitting the sunlight. I used to come and go up into the trees and pull out fucking tons of lures. Because people come here, new fisher or whatever, even good fishermen sometimes get snagged up. But those trees are filled with motherfucking hooks and everything. This place is jumping today, man. There's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cars here. I used to come here, there'd be lucky to be 2 cars and maybe a cop having lunch. They're saying it didn't really happen, that they didn't go up. They didn't go up. There's no way you're gonna... Hi, Esperanza, by the way. And you're not gonna tell me that they went up. No way. The lady... Okay, look this up. This is a funny thing. One of the ladies, her name is Christ in a Cock. Look at her fucking name. Her name is Christ in a Cock. Look it up. Look it up. Christ in a Cock. And Christ in a Cock, just a funny name, right? Christ in a Cock was in the movie Mad Max. And I've seen a fucking NASA interview where they're like, she's straight out of Central Casting. Straight out of Central Casting. She's a fucking actress who was in Mad Max. Interesting. But her name is Christina Koch. But if you break it down, it's a weird anagram. Or not anagram. Whatever. It's weird. It's just weird. I don't believe Christina. I think Christina works for Satana. I got some fucking Mexicans over here next to me. I'm worried that ICE is gonna come. He's sniffing cocaine over there. He's sniffing something. It'd be funny if I grabbed my camera and started fucking recording this dude snifflating his motherfucking cocaine. Those Mexicanos, oh, he's taking off too. He did his little sniff and then he's bouncing. He's a paranoid. I used to call him, them people are paranoid. He's paranoid. Relax, Frank. Take it easy. Spend 5 aquí, you can't lose money. No way. I go on the street for you. A meal here, a meal there. We'll have it by tomorrow morning. Maybe he's just gonna say hello to his little friend. Yeah, that's what I thought. He said hello to his little friend. He said, toot, toot. Beep, beep. Mira, maricón, puñeta, cabrón. Just nonsense. I've lived in a half Spanish family my entire life. I've had Spanish people around me since I was fucking born. And I cannot speak Spanish. To save my life. If it was to save my life, I'd be sitting there like, sorry, man. Nope. And I have Spanish friends that look at me and go, Lou, how is this a possibility? They're like, you're playing a game, right? You actually do speak Spanish, but you're just not letting people know that you know. And no, motherfucker, no. One language is good for me. It's got to be hard to learn another. Like, my youngest son, when he was a baby, that's all he spoke was Spanish. We sent him to school, and they said he had a learning disability. And we were like, get the fuck out of here. I go to the school, and they got Jamaicans trying to teach my son English. And he's Puerto Rican. And I go there, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? And they're like, what? And I'm like, this bumbleclot bitch is over here. Bumbleclot, man. This is how you... the wheels on the bus go round and round. None of mercy. Lord have mercy. Anyways, they were really Jamaican. And they was not Jamaican. My son speak English too well. So we moved him to a Spanish-American daycare. Right? The woman was Spanish-American. Within 2 weeks, my son was speaking perfect English. He is one of the most intelligent people you would meet today. And he doesn't speak Spanish. He lost his Spanish. His first word was Spanish. His first word was pecao, which means fish. And he was my fisherman. That's why I bring him here since he was 1 year old. Since he was able to walk, I used to bring him here on this little thing. And he started fishing. I hadn't fished since I was like 13 years old. And I'm sitting here trying to figure some shit out. And I got all the stuff. I just don't know what to do with it. And there's an old man on the beach here, and he's in a wheelchair. His name's Charlie. Older black man. And Charlie is the best fisherman I ever met. And he says, hey kid, you got no fucking clue what you're doing, do you? I'm like, I don't. And he's like, come here, bring the kid here. And so Jose got to learn how to fish, not from me, but from Charlie. And so by the time Jose was about 12, 13 years old, I would take him fishing all over Massachusetts, Connecticut, Vermont, wherever. And that kid would come back with bass that are the size of a person. And he'd go, Dad, I caught this big old fucking fish. He didn't say fuck, but he caught this big old fish all on his own. Went out, tied his own hook, everything, did everything on his own, catches his own fish. Jaden was afraid of this stuff until he was about 15. Jaden didn't want to go out on the boat. Jaden didn't like fishing. Jaden hated coming over here. I used to force him to do it anyways, but he started appreciating this around like 12, 13 years old. Jose's first word was fish, but it was in Spanish. Still the same fucking thing, it's fish. So that kid was born with fish in his veins. I remember his first bed set was Finding Nemo. Everything ever was for him was always fish. Fish, 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 fish. I wonder what his astronomical sign is. I wonder if he's Pisces. I don't know. I don't know which one is which. I know which one I am, barely. I've learned Spanish and a very little bit of French. I know enough Spanish to order me a fucking plate of food, maybe. That's it. I might be able to order what I want from the Spanish food restaurant. That's it. I know his birthday. I just don't want to share it with nobody. Tracy Shepard. Just 'cause you asked. 'Cause I know what it is. Yeah. Psst. I just don't want to say it on YouTube, because YouTube has all kinds of weirdos. Which, I'm going to sound really fucking stupid right now. Which month is 8? Which month is the 8th month? And then which, this guy's got his vape ready. He's got his motherfucking, what's that, 8-footer? He's got a big old long fishing pole ready. He's meeting up with his buddy. Is that his buddy? Looks like his buddy came. Oh, his buddy got a, oh shit. He got a net. He got rubber boots. Oh, he's ready. Oh, he's ready. You come with the waders on. He's coming for fish. This guy ain't leaving this motherfucker without a fish. You will get a pickerel in there. Go over there in them weeds. You'll catch a pickerel. Throw anything out there. Throw your finger out there, you'll catch one of them motherfuckers. They are horrible. I hate them fish. Leo is the first month, isn't it? Leo would be the first month, I thought. Right, the lion is the first. And why do we have a 12-month calendar when it should be 13 months? There is, in this world, when you plant plants and you just measure time by weeks, there is 13 sets of 28-day sections, which are 4 weeks. There is 13 months. You know what my theory is on the 13th month being taken out? It has nothing to do with any of the weirdness that people talk about. I think literally pay scales have always been paid on that kind of scale, right? And if you take a month out, you take out a pay scale. You know what I mean? For certain things, you take out 1 month of pay. Why do I have to wait 3 extra days this month, 4 extra days that month? By the time we get to the end of the fucking year, I done waited another month to get paid. The fuck out of here. So it's one less pay cycle. But it really comes down to crops in the end. Or it used to. It should come down to crops. I'm done eating poisonous foods. I'm all good putting shit in my body that just does nothing. There's no value. There's no positive. There's only negative. You fill your stomach with plastic, it's just plastic. Cheesy poof. I want my cheesy poofs. This reminds me of plastic and fucking things. That's because we go by the Druid law and their calendar, basically. Yeah. His birthday is his birthday is the 8th month, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. And if I am, then I'm not a bad father. I've gotten a lot of I've been hit in the head a lot of times. You know that old thing where you dropped on your head as a kid? I was actually dropped on my head. But it wasn't as a kid. I was like 16. I went to tackle somebody and they wrapped their arm around my head and DDT'd me right into the concrete. I woke up a little while later, swinging. And my friends were like, yo, that guy's gone. Who are you swinging? Where are your friends? We're trying to help you up. Stop hitting us, please. I sure miss your ghost hunting, Tracy. I'm sure you do. It was interesting. I was interested in when I was doing it. I was told by a woman, her brother, his name is Morris Therial. And I was told by her when I first started. She said, Lou, don't do that stuff. Look what happened to my brother. My brother was into that stuff that you're doing. I'm warning you, Lou, that's the devil's playground. Don't do it. I was a non-believer when I started. And then I was a shocked new believer when I started to experience things for myself that were like, wow, are you kidding me? There's no explanation behind full conversations with something on a radio device. But now I've done so much research into radios and what that could possibly be. I have about 40 different theories on what we're actually talking to. But you're talking to some kind of entity. You can believe that. And the entity knows lots of stuff about you for some reason. We could think in these terms, just in theory. AI is something that we think is like new, right? It's new. It just came out. You know, we just had AI. No, AI is fucking old. If you're getting AI, then it's at least 30 to 40 years old, if not older. So AI has been around for a fucking long time. It's just been in the hands of somebody else, we'll say. And if that is true, then there is a possibility that what we've been listening, because I've only been experiencing this stuff since the age of Wi-Fi and computers. Because before 1999, I don't think there was too many real spirit box responses. But I could put a fucking spirit box on right now and I'll start talking to fucking all kinds of entities that'll tell you shit that's very personal. And how does this entity know, for one, the way I met Patty from the G Team, I was in her chat. I had just lost I just lost a family member. How did something in Florida know what was personal information to me? And not only personal information, it said Lou Rock. It said, in Lou Rock, it literally says my name 3 times. That made it to television. That made it to the Travel Channel, Discovery Channel, whatever shit, that television show. Because it's a fucking legit capture. And there was many other legit captures that they showed in that video that were... I can't explain it. I know I was there. I know that if you guys go start playing with spirit boxes, you'll get results. Some people get more than others. Some people are more like an antenna than others, it seems. Some people are almost a block sometimes. It seems like when you have certain people around, it's like that person's energy has kind of blocked. Whoa. Oh, I'm seeing shit in the sky. Sorry about that, Tracy. That was my favorite part about doing spirit box sessions, was the possibility of hearing from a loved one, not just myself, but others, and what that does for somebody. There's one video that I made. It was a live stream. It was in Forest Park in Springfield. I was there with my mom's boyfriend's nephew. His name is Brandon. We're sitting in my purple truck, and I turned the spirit box on, and I was torn apart. And I got a message that said, I said, do you want to talk to anybody? He had just told us his daughter's name, all this stuff to confirm it was him. I said, do you want to talk to anybody? It said, you. So loud that Brandon was like, yo, it said you, dude. I'm like, okay. And it says, smile. I'm in heaven. Now, I had been broken up because I didn't know CPR. I didn't know correct CPR. I tried. But I made major mistakes. Like, instead of taking him off the bed, I was trying to perform CPR on a bed, which a bed bounces. You can't do chest compressions on a bed. You have to pull somebody off the bed onto the floor to do the chest compression. I didn't know that. So I was broken up. I felt guilty that I couldn't help him. And I tried my best. But until I got that message, man, I was broken up. Fucked up. But that message kind of saved my life in a way. And then I started doing this stuff. I started doing the paranormal stuff, and things just started fitting in the right places in a lot of different ways. But then you become a target, right? I know I became a target for so many different things. Shitty people, shitty circumstance, all brought on by yourself, right? You surround yourself with people. You choose to be around the people you choose to be around. Nobody else. Be careful what energy you accept into your life, because that energy will show itself in spades. So yeah, I missed some of it. I missed the adrenaline rush of going places I wasn't supposed to go. Those were my favorite fucking videos. Going into old tunnels. I came out of a underground tunnel in the Chicopee Police Station. I started in an abandoned tire factory, like 2 blocks over. And I come up in the police station, then walk out the door like I came in the front door. I've seen hospitals that half of the hospital's abandoned, and then the other half is filled with patients. Now, the weird part about that is if you go and look at, that's what I should have focused on. It would have made a lot of waves. But they've since closed the entire hospital. But that hospital, I'm searching through it, and I get to a certain door, and there's a glass window there, but I can't open the door, and there's light on the other side, and it looks like there might be like life on the other side of this door. I sit there for maybe a couple minutes with the other person I was filming with, who was with me. It might have even been breaking the shell. And then a couple minutes later, a lady walks by. And the other side of the fucking hospital is a hospice for people that are dying. But the fucked up part is, half of the place is asbestos, mold, dripping water, open fucking like sewage, fucked up shit. And then all you have is a locked door. But the vents are still connected. The building's still connected. People are still going to get fucking horribly sick, even though they're probably already sick or dying. That don't make no excuse. That's fucked up. I've seen some weird shit in some weird places. Abbeville, South Carolina. You want to see a place that's really just holds that energy? The Belmont Hotel. That place is just strange. That's strange, like satanic energy. Captain Grant's 1864 in Connecticut. It's definitely haunted by something that likes to stomp through the house, and it sounds like it's wearing wooden boots, and it's really like it's kind of scary. And Concord, Massachusetts, the Colonial Inn. I sat there and asked about the first war, the shot heard around the world. And I was asking questions, and I could tell that they were so angry with me. They were calling me names. They were not happy that I was there. They were calling me an idiot. They said the people, all right, so literally the spirit box, I said, do you have anything to say to the people watching? And it said, yeah, fools. Basically saying you're a fool for watching this. But it's something responding, right? And I remember one of the responses saying, the first one that died was a 14-year-old. And then I was like, wow. That's fucking... We slept in the field hospital room where they did surgeries on the people that were injured in that skirmish. So I could see why they were angry that we were there with devices and cameras to exploit the history. And not only the history, but the tragedy. Because that's really what's being exploited, right? It's the tragedy. You don't go to Lizzie Borden because it's haunted. You go because of the tragedy. Haunted places are way different than these places that hold these horrible, horrible energies of loss and tragedy and pain. Especially Lizzie Borden. My true honest opinion about Lizzie Borden, I think Lizzie Borden was being raped. I think Lizzie Borden suffered a lifetime of torture from her own father, and she finally had enough. And she called Uncle so-and-so, I forget what his name was, but Uncle so-and-so came into town, and they made sure that was the end of Mr. Borden. So she calls her uncle she's not just killing him out of fucking pure malice, right? She's calling her uncle, telling her uncle what's going on. Her uncle comes to town. They send her sister out of town so she can't be blamed. He goes out the day of the murder and introduces himself to everybody on the trolley and says, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm from out of town, just so witnesses could say, yeah, we met that guy on the trolley. I think that Lizzie Borden would have been a hero if she was a man. What I mean by that is, if she was a man, she would have schools, streets in her name. There would be Lizzie Borden Avenue. There would be the Lizzie Borden Library, which there actually is, because she's paid for the libraries. She's paid for half of the Irish that were poor in those days to go to college and to actually have a chance in life. She did such philanthropic work that if she was a man today, she would have statues. But because she was a female, she was not famous for anything other than what happened with her father because of this one certain fact. The Lizzie Borden murder, there was other murders like that had happened in history. Nobody ever found out about them. The Lizzie Borden murder was the O.J. Simpson trial of its day. And the reason being is because some asshole showed up with a camera and said, can I take pictures? And the guy who took pictures, he was looked at like the most craziest dude ever. Like, you're going to take pictures of the dead bodies? It changed forensic science. It changed the world, actually. It was, actually, you can look it up, it was the first murder in history that was photographed. I heard they started to tear down Belchertown State Hospital. That was years and years ago. There's probably, I think there's 2 buildings left. They still leave a building or 2 for the historical shit. But they got, everything else was just deadly dangerous there. Filled with things like PCBs, asbestos, all kinds of fucking horrible shit. That place was a torture factory. That was part of the eugenics research. That was German scientists coming over and experimenting on the kids at the funny farm. Look up where the term funny farm comes from. There's a reason it's called the funny farm. There's literal paper evidence in the, well, there was right shortly before they destroyed the buildings that still tied those. There's actually video evidence that ties those. They can't deny it. The German German doctors, what they did is they called them in the documentary from the 70s. It's called "They Bleed, They Hurt, They Cry" or some shit. I used some of the footage in one of my videos. In that video, they're talking to Richard Knutson, which happens to be the guy who runs Belchertown State School in 1978 or some shit. And Richard Knutson is talking about how there's literally no accredited doctors on the property, that they're mostly foreign exchange something. I forget the exact terminology used, but he said there's no accreditation to them. We're not accredited as a school, and neither are our employees. And we're lucky to keep employees. And so, why do you think they were lucky to keep employees? You think of some local guy that wants to help disabled kids or something. He goes and works with these kids. And then you find out that they're taping kids to fucking beds for a year straight. Kids that can walk and move. And after a year, their arms and legs are atrophied so much that they're now wheelchair bound for the rest of their lives. Or things like the Cream of Wheat company decided that they were going to feed these kids cream of wheat that had radiation in it so they could test what radiation did to people. No, I didn't go much further than the East Coast. I usually would just go up and down the East Coast from Massachusetts. Well, I would go up further, Maine, Vermont, all the way up to the Canadian border, and then all the way down to Florida. I never traveled anywhere towards central United States or out west. I always stayed out here. A lot of the trips were just by myself. I'd jump in a rental car and just take off. I feel like you do some shit like that to kids, you deserve the same thing in return. I agree. I 100% agree. But unfortunately, these people lived in giant homes. They were very well taken care of, if not very wealthy. They literally profited on the suffering of others. And Belchertown was its own town. Like the school, not the town itself. Before the town became anything, that school was the town. The school had a coal burning electric plant. The school had everything on its own property. They had their own gas station, their own machine shop. Literally, it had its own power plant. I went through that in some of the videos. Some of the last videos we went to the power plant. There was a big fire next to the power plant in the garage. Shortly before I got there, they pulled out a Studebaker. There was a Studebaker ambulance that was in one of the garages, and it was pretty old, but it wasn't rusted because it was always under a roof. And that thing had to be worth some good. I talked to the guy when he had it on the trailer when he was taking it out, and he was talking like, I'm like, dude, how much did you get this thing for? He's like, not what it's worth, man. I sell these things all the time. He said, I got this thing for nothing. And I think he actually got it for nothing. It's said that the almighty dollar is more valuable than a child. Well, a lot of that stuff wasn't for the dollar. A lot of that stuff was military-funded research. It had nothing to do... It had to do for the dollar for the doctor or the torturer, or whatever you want to call him. He was making money. But in the long run, all that research went towards... Eugenics was the study of heritable characteristics that were desirable. So basically, if you had blonde hair or blue eyes, those were what we wanted. We wanted to study if we kept breeding those people, would we continue those genetics? Where do you think all the genetic research came from for CRISPR, all the shit that we have today? It all came from those kids being tested, not tested, tested on. That's cool. That's cool, Sarah. Yeah, this is a sad story, man. Oh shit, I actually got a live stream going right now. I forgot. I left it going. I'm live somewhere else. I'm not there. I'm here with y'all. I'm about to be there in a little bit. I come here and I think about my friend Manuel. I met Manuel on YouTube when I was live at this place. Like I said, the first time I met him, he came into my live stream. He said, "Thank you for this. Check your PayPal. There's $1,000 there for you." I thought it was a troll. People are like, "Yo, go check your PayPal, Lou." I'm like, nah, man. At first, I'm like, "Get the fuck." I'm like, "Yeah, okay. All right, fuck it. Let me check it." And I check it, and boom. There's $1,000. That's how I met him. He wasn't rich. It's just a normal guy from the other side of the country. And we kind of just... It's kind of like my brother from halfway across the fucking country. He would call me every day, even when I was having like the worst time, and he'd be like, "Yo, how are you doing?" I'd be like, "Man, I'm not doing good right now. I'm having a bad fucking day." He said, "Well, let's talk about it." He was a good friend, and I never got to shake his hand. I would have liked to shake his hand one day. That would have been nice. This video's for Manuel. Much love, guys. Much love, guys. I will get with you one day, maybe. I don't know. You can link up with me on Pilled. I'm over there every day. I miss him every day, Tracy. Every day. Somebody that I never actually met in person. Much love, Esperanza, Sarah, Tracy, Mel. She's like, I'm sorry, I missed. There was another Mel here earlier. Mel was here. Much love to Mel as well. Mel as well. That fucking rhymed. Chicka chicka. Alright, Joe. Much love. Why am I so fucking blurry? Like, we're in dream vision? Erica, not Erica Chill. Or Erica... Wait, hold on. What is it now? Erica Chal. Okay. Peace. Much love, y'all.